What's up guys, Thiago here. So today I'm bringing you 10 pentatonic scales you can use over the dominant 7th chord. Yes, 10 pentatonic scales. So it can go from really super easy, super normal to super crazy, alien, freakish. So let's dive into it. To get this out of the way, dominant 7th chord is normal 7th chord you're gonna use in things like a blues song or whatever. It's made up of three notes. In this case we're using the A 7th chord, so it's the tonic, which is the A, major 3rd, C sharp, E, the 5th, and you have the minor 7th. It's kind of like a very, let's say, dissonant chord, because usually you're gonna use it for blues, of course, as I said earlier, but you can also use it as a dominant chord, which is gonna go into the tonic. So you have this progression here. So it's the 5th chord is an A, and the 1st chord is a D, which you're gonna resolve into. So you get this very weird chord that has this dissonance, and the dissonance comes from two notes, the major 3rd and the minor 7th. Why? Because they form what is called a diminished 5th, which is this. So you get this very dissonant interval. So it's kind of like, that makes it kind of weird, and it also makes it accept very different chord tones which wouldn't work in a regular way, but as it's a very dissonant chord, it's gonna work, right? Let's dive into this, okay? So the first one we're gonna use is the major pentatonic, which is kind of an obvious choice. This pentatonic is made up of 5 notes, of course, and it's a tonic, 2nd, which is a B, C sharp, major 3rd, the 5th, the E, 6th, and the tonic again, which is, it's kind of an obvious choice, and you have all the notes here. They fit kind of nice and neatly into the dominant 7th chord. Of course you don't have this, the minor 7th here, but it still sounds pretty great. I'll show you that. Second type is kind of an oddball, but it kind of works. It's a minor pentatonic. Yes, you heard it right. You've got the minor pentatonic, but why does it fit? So here's the thing. In this case, we're gonna use the tonic, the A, minor 3rd. I'm gonna explain this in a minute. 4th, which is a D, 5th, the E, and the minor 7th again. So we've got 3 notes which fit very nice and neatly into the dominant chord, which is the tonic, the 5th and the 7th, and they all chord tones, and there we go, good. And the 3rd, the minor 3rd we're gonna use here, which is, you have 2 ways of using it. You can use it like as a chromatic passing note, which is going to have this dissonance, and if you bend it like a half step, or maybe you can slide it up as a jazz player you would, just like it kind of works neatly over this the dominant 7th chord, but also it brings it this dissonance, so it kind of works. And usually in blues playing, which is a topic which I really like, you can you can mix up these two pentatonics, a minor and a major, and it kind of gives that bluesy, kind of ambiguous sound, which is kind of what blues is, right? So, as we're talking about blues, the next one, third one, is the blues pentatonic, or the blues scale as some people like to call it, which is the minor pentatonic. But we've got the added blues note, what we call it. It's the flat fifth, which is like chromatic, like being really, let's say, analytical about it. It's a chromatic passing note, which is this. In reality, you can use it as a passing note, as a jazz player would, or you can just spice it up. Let's hear it. Next one is kind of another oddball, because it's what we call major blues. Some people like to call it the country scale. Yes, a country scale. So what is this? The country scale is actually a major pentatonic, but it's like a blues scale, but it's in a major way. So what it does contain is a minor third and a major third. So the notes, these are the notes, which is a tonic, A, then you have the major second, B, then you have minor third, and then major third. So it kind of gives it a bluesy sound again, and so that's why maybe some people like to call it like a country scale. Now the name is kind of weird, but it kind of makes sense, because you can have like that kind of country-like sound. So it kind of makes sense, right? And also you have the fifth, sixth. You don't have a seventh, but it also kind of has that bluesy major sound, which sounds kind of interesting over the backing track. So let's hear it. Next one is what we call the dominant pentatonic, or the seventh pentatonic. You can call it whatever you like. So it's the same thing as a major pentatonic, which is tonic, second, major third, but instead of a fifth, of course. So instead of having a major sixth, you're gonna have a minor seventh. So it's gonna sound almost like, let's say, a dominant ninth arpeggio. So which sounds like this. It fits really nicely into the chord, because you get all its chord tones plus an added ninth. So it's kind of sounds like a mixolydian, almost like a mixolydian mode. So let's check it out. gonna start a little bit going to the weird mode into the pentatonic scale. So it kind of gets interesting for me because I really like weird sounds. So the first one is what I call the minor fifth pentatonic. So what is this? You're gonna take let's say we have an A chord here that we're gonna be using, right? So we have the fifth degree, fifth note, which is the E note. So we're gonna use a minor pentatonic over this. So we have this dominant chord. Here's the fifth note. So we're gonna use the E minor pentatonic over it. So why does this work? Well, here's the thing. It sounds not just like, let's say, a dominant chord, but it sounds kind of like a suspended chord. What is a suspended chord? So a suspended chord does have major second, a fourth, and a minor seventh. Minor seventh. Okay. So what this pentatonic provides, it's almost all the notes of a suspended chord if you play it like that. So let's say. Over here we got root, that's the A, major seventh. You don't get the third, so which is like a suspended chord. Fourth, fifth, and minor seventh. So it's kind of, but it does have that kind of suspended, jazzy, fusion type sound. So it's kind of interesting if you use it in a good way. Sixth pentatonic we're going to use is what we call a minor sixth pentatonic. So it comes from the Dorian mode. So what it contains, it's root, minor third, fourth, fifth, major sixth, which is the plot twist, and then we go to the roots again. So it's this little guy here. It kind of like gives a bluesy sound. It does have that edge because we got another. Once again, we have a diminished fifth on this pentatonic, which is like a major sixth and a minor third. It does add to that friction. So it does have that friction, which works really well over. So now we're going to get into the really weird, bizarre world of altered pentatonics. These pentatonics I quite enjoyed, but they're kind of crazy, so you have to really watch out to these alien, weird sounding things. Many people are going to tell you you're going to be wrong. Some people are gonna like kick you out of a band if you do that. But it's kind of nice to annoy people. So let's go into that. So the first one is a bit more traditional in this headspace. Is what I call minor third pentatonic, which is this. You have your beautiful dominant seventh sound, which is bluesy, kind of funky thing. So what you're going to superimpose it's a C minor pentatonic. So minor third for the 7th chord is a C note, so you're going to superimpose the minor pentatonic over it. So what does, like in a theoretical way, what does this provide? So it's kind of like you have absolutely no chord tones here. So what you're gonna have is, I mean, you can use a minor 6 as well, which has an A, which is nice. So if you start from that minor 6 pentatonic, but you can also use the regular minor, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the tone, root, minor 3rd, diminished 5th. So here starts to get a little bit freaky. Minor 6, so it really works well over an altered chord. Minor 7th, which is a given. So you can also play it with using, instead of using like the major 6, you can use the minor 7th, which you're gonna have like a flat 9th, which kind of sounds even more dissonant, but it kind of works. And if you use the major 6, so let's hear it in context. So now we're getting to the more obscure side, even more obscure than the last one. So this is what I call a minor 2nd pentatonic. So this is kind of freaky. Yeah, I mean, it's a minor 2nd over or a dominant chord. So we're gonna use a B flat, which is really dissonant. So, and we're gonna use a minor 6 pentatonic. Why we're gonna do that? Because then we're gonna have one chord tone, which is the G. It kind of sounds weird. It is weird, but it kind of works. And if you like to annoy people, here's your chance. So over here you have minor 2nd, which is a B flat, major 3rd, which works really well, diminished 5th, which then it starts to get really weird, minor 6th, and yeah, people are gonna start hating you, minor 7th. Hear it in context. For the final one, we're gonna use like the diminished 5th of all pentatonics, which is the weirdest, craziest idea I've had in a while. So here's the thing: it has no common notes, but I kind of felt it worked with a dominant diminished scale, which is minor pentatonic, but you can use either the minor pentatonic or the minor 6. So you're gonna take the flat 5th, which is a B minor, and you're gonna use it over our beautiful, but now totally ripped apart, traumatized dominant chord. So it kind of sounds weird as hell, but it kind of works. Hope you like it. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope these insights work for you, so you can maybe get your blues playing to next level, or even a maniac, crazy, dissonant level, or you can use those over rock, you can use those over fusion sounds, and you can even try and mix them and see what it sounds like. So hope you enjoy those. See you in the next video.